Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Hold up, the music might be a little too loud. Actually, y'all keep telling me that it isn't. Maybe I'm tripping. Good morning. Good morning. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, letter? Excuse me while I squeak my mic over here. I didn't really miss much today. Well, except a huge launch, but I don't know. This is a pretty obvious setup, though, in terms of what it did in pre-market into what it did a little bit after the open. It kind of sucks it did it so quick. I could definitely agree with anyone that maybe it happened too quick, but it was definitely obvious, though. And we talked about this last week as well, from the levels and updates in the levels channel. But the levels have been really, really easy to get, and they're really spaced out. And that it really does help on days like this because you can zoom in. Well, we'll zoom in here in a second. You can see there's a higher low here that helped build up. You can see the next day they started up higher, came back down, held over this. So you can see even if you don't have any understanding of the macro or the bigger time frame POV, you're still able to understand the recent context without even understanding the importance of this highlighted area. But just cool to see. And I want to ask y'all this too, just because it is kind of interesting. But you see how he kind of like started under this, pushed up, held it, started above it, went down, held it, launched again, rejected that. What would you say this pre-market did to help us maybe be a little bit bullish before the open? And I'm not saying you should be buying calls right at the open, but what about this would make you a little bit more bullish than bearish going into the open? I like to ask it that way because, again, not every day that starts bullish ends bullish. I just asking for this recent context. What there could have helped you? One second, I gotta check Discord. Good morning, Carter. It created higher lows on the way up. Yes, but that's not what I'm looking for. Come on, guys. Who's got this? What did pre-market do that helped us? There were higher lows, yes, but what did it do? Look at the highlighted area that I just talked about. Talked about this area right here. Talked about what it did on this day, what it did on this day. What did our price action do to it this day? We held above the highlighted area below, and we retook the other highlighted. Exactly. It's not even really this one as much, but that I guess that does help as well, just being above it. But yeah, just the fact that we're pushing back above this, the fact that we are losing it in the overnight session, which again, this doesn't really matter. I mean, this doesn't really either. It's just, again, context. It's not like we're going to ever sit here and be like, I'm buying calls because there was a green candle in pre-market. Like, no, it's just context. What the fuck is this area? We went over it. And what did it do in pre-market? It just gave you a signal that, hey, it's rejecting it. And then the very first candle is like, just kidding. So what can we call this? A loss and retake. This is what a lot of people call a liquidity grab. This is what a lot of people in our chat call a 90% entry. It's just a very, very strong signal, right? And I'm not saying as soon as you see it, jump into a call. No, I'm just saying it is something you need to start taking into context, though, when something is being used that way, right? Because I think some people would be like, well, how do you know it's a 90%? Just because it lost and retook it? No. Back up a couple days. We started over here. Started going over these levels here, and I'm only using this because this is where I drew that halfway point, and then this is kind of just the area we've been using it from. I don't even know if I drew this day's halfway point because I was so reliant on that area. Dude, there's no way the music is quiet for y'all. I can hear it through this thing. Hold up. Yo, deadass, how loud is the music? maybe it's just my mixer's off. Because I can hear it blasting through these earphones that's like not even near me right now. What's up, Maddie? Good to see you, man. Loss and retake, exactly, Carter. But I want to make sure you guys understand, like, it's not just a loss and retake though. It's the fact that it's using an important area. My bad, I'm just drawing yesterday's PDCP because honestly, you really didn't need it yet, but it looks like we need it now. Because we were way down here, so there wasn't really much point having everything, but might as well. Alright, so, guys, using the levels, and I'll even highlight it, make it easy. Using the levels, what needs to hold or break to go up or down? Someone tell me. You tell me. You guys are the ones who want to practice. Let me know. What area needs to hold or break for bears or bulls? I'm going to post it on the levels channel, so if you're in the Discord, definitely check that out. Why does it keep taking me to that channel? What the hell? There we go. Did I even draw yesterday for triple Q? Whoops. I keep saying yesterday like the weekend didn't just happen. 51940. Tech, you are a very weird chart. 51748. There we go. Now that's everything. I was gonna say there's like a level missing here that SPY has on that neckline, but I think it was just an extra day ago's halfway point. Whereas on SPY, I'm just using this day and this day. Everything else is just from to the daily. But I am using a lot of halfway points right now. It happens to be really easy, and I've gone over this in my BB theory playlist. If you guys have gone through that. But on the downtrends or on the uptrends from the left side, from that recent left, you could really just use halfway points of those days. If you just wanted to use less levels, just use the halfways of all those days going down or up on that left side trend. In this case, it's from candles going down and we're going up. In other cases, we might be looking at the opposite. Let me get this posted as well. Sorry. Whoops, I spelled intra wrong. Intraday. Excuse me, I'm typing real quick. Dude, what is going on? Need to be... Sorry, I was typing some plans out for everybody in chat. Updating SPY and Triple Q in the levels channel. Can we stop posting fucking pictures in the chat, guys? Come on. Y'all are posting dog pics and car pics. That's cool on a Sunday, but it's Monday. Come on. Lock in. Let's not spam the chat with dog pics and car pics and stuff. Come on. There's literally an off-topic channel. Alright, good morning, good morning. Sorry, I was typing in the Discord. We held above the highlight area. Lost reaching. What's up, Matty Ice? What's up, Alst? Good morning. What's up, Alexis? Hold the PDCP for bulls to continue. Yep, you're looking good on that. That Moody report end of day on Friday was so extra. It's okay. It was scheduled. But I agree with you. 4-hour time. It's like whenever what's that company name? Oppenheimer ever does something. They're like, yeah, we hate this company. And then it's like, oh, and we were shorting them 9 months ago. Yep, we're kind of ahead of the curve. It's like they make their own luck. 4-hour time frame signaled a nice morning start, extended hours at the opening. Oh, at opening validating the bulls. I see. You got a morning start. Did you get the higher open as well? Was able to grab some scalps in that move. Now it's chill. Phase of the day. Okay. Good looks, Alexis. And yeah, Kamar, give me a second. I'll send you the link. Calm down. I'm trying to catch up to my messages here on YouTube. I've been typing a bunch. I think I can edit this, can't I? Yeah. Generate new link, copy. Make sure you guys post trade reviews as well. I saw a lot of trading this morning, and then I went to the results channel. I was like, all right, what everyone do? And it was like one person. I was like, okay, what the hell? So don't slack off. Make sure you post those reviews. Let's just pin this, because we get a lot of people who randomly find us from YouTube. So I'm going to just pin this message for now. Hopefully I get better at remembering that. I don't normally promote all this stuff, but you're glad to join. Welcome to join, whatever the hell the saying is. I'm going to go back to IWM real quick, because I didn't look at them yet. Oh, damn, they did great today. What is this? I don't remember what that is. That has to be a PDCP, right? Has to be. Yeah. Okay, it is. That's the daily fib. I'm just kind of reminding what the hell I'm looking at, because I honestly don't. I don't remember a lot of these levels on IWM compared to SPY and Triple Q. And if you guys have been in my streams, you know damn well as I. These are basically the same chart. Sometimes one's a little bit more stretched than the other. Sometimes one's a little bit more condensed than the other. The numbers are completely. Oh, I keep saying the numbers are completely different, but they're actually trying to catch up to each other right now. But IWM is different. They don't really belong into the trio. It's not really a trio. It's like an awkward third wheel, and IWM is that awkward third wheel. And you'll see there's a lot of similarity though. You can see and use recent features of the chart for context, not the price, use the candlesticks, use the positioning, use how much they've gone from what part of the left side there. use that left side trend to give yourself that kind of context. But you can see here SPY, and I know I'm on the wrong chart, but just bear with me. SPY way up here, you can see they're past that high over here. They're past this lower high. They had this spike up move. It's a couple features that each chart has, and then the all-time high. You can see how far we are from that. Not that far. Triple Q, same exact story. Some might even say it went up a little bit quicker in the mornings on a lot of these green days. That's because, no shit, this is tech. This is what most of the market is weighed upon. So it's not every single thing that's in this Triple Q. That's why I like to look at XLs, because XLK is a little bit more, I always call it pure blood tech, because it's just tech. Whereas Triple Q is not just tech. We call it tech, I call it tech, everyone calls it tech. But there's actually a huge amount of non-tech stocks in this. So that's why I like to call it more pure blood when I look at XL, because when you're seeing XLK drop 1%, you will see that effect on SPY. You will see that effect on Triple Q. You don't always see that effect from Triple Q over to SPY as instantly. So that's why I like to look at XLK if I'm actually looking for that effect. But just to kind of reference that. But back to what we're talking about. If you go to IWM, it's like an awkward third date. But there's a lot of similarities, as I was saying before. It does have that spike. It does have that. Actually, their high that SPY was over, that I was like, oh, they're over that high. That's like way up here on IWM. They haven't even hit it yet, right? So they have a recent high right here. They have that high that we were talking about here. And you'll see a huge difference here, too. On SPY, that next high, on SPY and Triple Q, that next high is the all-time high. On IWM, it's just the lower high of the all-time high. So it's a good thing to kind of think about when you're looking at charts on the bigger time frame, getting a good view of the macro. So when you zoom in on the micro, you're not as bullish or bearish on something, or maybe it makes you bearish or bullish on something more. And then as soon as you see a next signal on the smaller time frames, maybe that's what triggers you, instead of just seeing that smaller time frame and just being like, hey, I think it's bullish, I think it's bearish. Now you have that macro reference to be like, oh, okay, it is bullish, but I need to see this, it needs to do this, it has this as a target, blah, 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 this is my stop loss. You know, whatever your game plan is after that, it's on you. But that's the kind of thinking you need to put into the charts when you're looking at that. But I always like to look at IWM, the whole reason of this conversation, because it's different. It's like a stepchild. So on days that SPY and Triple Q might look like shit or not do much, IWM a lot of the time is doing great. So that's why I like to keep it there in the back pocket. So definitely keep that there if you guys haven't. But yeah, just another good chart to look at. That's what I'm trying to get at. But you can see they had the same feature as SPY this morning. They had the loss of that area that we have highlighted. And like I said, even though the numbers are different, the chart is different, what's inside of it, what makes up that chart is different, right? But the price action a lot of the time does line up. So very interesting. And you know this too. A lot of you guys know this as well. The people who take time to review and go through this stuff. So it's definitely pretty cool. But yeah, how was everyone's weekend though? Yo, I should share the stream link, shouldn't I? Holy shit. Yo, pat yourself on the back right now if you're in here. Because I was looking back and I was like, damn, only 10 people joined. That's crazy. And then I was like, wait a minute. I didn't even post the link. So shout out to you if you're in here. You're in here like all natural. I didn't tell you to get in here. I just said I'm streaming soon, but then I forget to share the link like an idiot. Okay. That's funny. I literally did that the last time I started streaming too. That's awesome. Really setting an example out there for all those new streamers. Bro, I was because 10 of you joined, so I was like, I must have shared the link, like, but I couldn't remember if I did. Morning, I didn't know you were live. Yeah, that is on me. I'm sorry. I was just telling everyone that. That is funny though, because I genuinely was like, huh, 10 people joined. I must have sent the link out, and then didn't even double check. The BB diehards in here, point and shoot. Luckily, my YouTube algo is like, this dude is live. I'm not, YouTube's pretty good about that, though, honestly. At least to me. I don't know about everybody. I don't want to sit here and be like, yeah, YouTube gets fair treatment. But I know if I watch a channel or something, it pretty much always pops up on my main feed pretty quickly if they're live or whatever. But it's kind of impossible to do that, though, for everybody we watch. But thank you, thank you. Now, that was pretty crazy, though. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed all those conversations, because honestly, I don't ever, like, plan out what I'm going to talk about. It's just like, what do we see? Is there anything to reference or go over? And that was pretty awesome, because I love going over the differences between SPY, QQ, IWM, because there's also a lot of similarities that people don't think about. And I think I touched up on a few of them there. Also, still looking for this Tesla drop. We talked about the potential rejection of 339.60s. Any retake of 340.35 is a good potential chance of seeing high day, and maybe even 344. So I'm not just looking at one direction here. Also looking to see if I'm wrong, where is it going? Apple, honestly, not much really mentioned on that. It's just still going up from where it dipped down from. Microsoft's been a lot stronger than Apple lately. I don't know if that's just because of recent news. We talked about the earnings and how they have been doing, honestly, doing really good. I'm really proud of Microsoft, because for the longest time, and as a lot of you have known, we have talked about the disparity in Microsoft compared to a lot of tech. And if you go to literally any tech chart, and it doesn't make any sense, and we didn't try to make sense of it, because the market doesn't have to make sense. But the reason we were looking at this for the longest time, not just for options, not just for shares, just honestly, just in general, thinking, why is this not up? You know, logically thinking, like, why is this not going up at all? Right? And if you go to literally any other tech chart, they're not doing what Microsoft did. And Microsoft's not just some random tech company. It is Microsoft we are talking about. Let's be real here. So it was honestly interesting just to ever see them under 400, in my opinion. Because if you look at the chart, there's like this huge baseline. And you know how I was telling you there's like these similarities? If you go to almost any tech chart, not a lot of them are doing this move. It's insane that this one even did. But for the longest time, Microsoft, and we've said this in so many streams over the years, like, why is this where it is, you know? Anytime we've seen this down here, it just logically doesn't make sense. It's Microsoft. It's probably one of the few non-brick and mortar companies you'll see me ever just glaze. Your Wall Street Bets post got deleted 3 times. Wait, why? What'd you do? Was something special done today and I haven't noticed yet? What happened? Actually, I do need to scroll up and trade floor. Let me police what happened this morning. I just saw a bunch of gains and then I logged and then I got on. Y'all are so wild with the morning with the morning emojis. Damn, Kevo kind of hooked it up. He literally told y'all what contract he bought at 8.35. Even if you're not trading SPX, that's... I hate when people are like, oh, but he called that SPX. I only trade SPY. Like, if you're someone who has ever thought that naturally, you are very ignorant. The main difference is the volatility and the pricing. The movement, the directional call out. Like, if someone's like, yeah, I'm bullish on SPX... Well, guess what, jackass? They're probably bullish on SPY. Are they exact same chart? No. Are they the exact same instrument? No. But they do go in the same direction. Microsoft with the stick. Letterbuck with a solid call out. Good job, Kevo. Good job, Letterbuck. Good job, Deuce. I'm seeing some good open. Oh, good job, Tobias. Good call outs. I see you. Honestly, that's something that's always been really cool about my chat, is I really don't push people to do that. I've never done that. I could promise you, I've never pushed someone to be like, yo, go call it in my chat for me, please. Do you know what every other server does? Every other server pays someone or begs someone to do it or anything. You know what I do in my chat? I just train people up over a very long period of time, and then they just naturally do it themselves, because guess what? That's the natural course of action of a person who's actually trading. To start posting what they're doing. Now, I'm not saying Kevo has to. I'm not saying Deuce has to. I'm not saying Tobias has to. I'm not saying D-Touch has to. Nobody has to do that. That is when they are feeling it. That's when they're comfortable. The chat's a comfortable place to do it. It's a safe space. No one's going to sit, if they lose a trade, we're not going to sit there and beat them up with clubs. We're probably going to be like, it's okay, whatever, dude. I'll catch you on the next one. Because we know that they tried their best. It's not like some 50-50 effort. Sorry, I can't speak English. Lovely updates, though. Honestly, scrolling through Trade Floor, I haven't even made it past 9 o'clock yet. Let's see what Nardle Baby said. They said, good looks. I didn't even draw that, and that's insane that lines up. See, that's a good reason to start reviewing chat. I didn't notice that. I didn't even think to draw the overnight gap down. Just because we'd already gone up so much, I was like, what does it matter? Kind of interesting, though. It literally lines up with another very important level. And honestly, guys, I want to also push this point too. I should be the only person telling other people they need to be posting their reviews. You guys don't need to be telling each other that. You don't need to be pushing each other like that, because it's just a little weird. But like, and I'm not calling out names, but like, if someone says, hey, can you post a review? I want to see your call out or this or that. Like, please don't talk like that, because they're not expected to post a review of their call out. You can literally go into the trade floor and be like, oh, when did he enter? When did he exit? So you can do some of the groundwork yourself. But I'd also like to point out that today was very obviously a little bit bullish after we retook this level. I could definitely see some hesitancy in the trade floor by 1 or 2 people when we got to this level, which is basically almost the halfway point of yesterday. This is actually the halfway point. But this is the halfway point of the gap down. So it's kind of interesting that I saw a little bit of hesitancy there. There really wasn't any rejection. There was definitely some slow up. They definitely slowed up against this, but that's to be expected. That's a very important area. Also, I would say it's just as impressive the fact that we've actually pushed over that area and are holding it even with price action. So even if we do end of day fall under this and have a huge drop or anything, that doesn't even matter. It's the fact that it got up here is pretty impressive so far for intraday trading. You've had amazing information to tell you to go up so far. Now it's about looking to see, does it give you more information to continue to be bullish? So far, yes. This chart hasn't given us any reason to give up on it yet. But now we know. Oh, okay, well, if we break this, it could be an early sign. If we break this, it's kind of game over for the chart for the day. So that's what we can see now. Vice versa, if we're still holding on to this, which we are, we should still be heading to 2 things. High of day. And it doesn't matter where high of day is. If high of day is here and we're 3 cents away, if high of day is right here and we're $1.50, it doesn't matter. That's where your main target needs to be. And then whatever other levels you have, that's awesome. This could be like a secondary kind of watch. But high of day needs to be your first target or breaking point or next reference point, whatever you want to call it. It's the next key part of the chart. My bad, Tobias. Sorry, I got caught up talking about another thing. Oh, okay. I think I already know where this conversation's going. Oh, yep, you said it right there. I didn't even read the rest of that sentence. I just read the ticker, but then I saw, is my new SMR. Good job. So you accumulated over time, held for a pop. That's what I'm hearing. Wasn't that the one you mentioned in your channel, MVST? I'm pretty sure that was. Or maybe it was the other one. Bro, y'all sure that music's not loud? That shit is so loud on this headphone thing. You went with Kevo with Spy, 591, 592. Oh, the strikes, good shit, good shit. 50 to 90% gain. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to trade SPX to collect nice gains. Like, he called it SPX. That's what he's trading. Just if someone else is in here and they don't like to trade that, you go trade Spy. Like, don't be that person that's like, well, it's different. It has different letter. Like, okay. UNH at 305, noise. Yeah, I need to look at my daily time frame setups at the end of the day today. Yeah, this one's nice. Good shit. I saw Alexis post something, or someone posted something on this last week. And remember what we said. We said under 400, this was already kind of thought of as a discount. We were waiting to see any kind of buying above this. The fact that it went down under that to 250 already kind of screams like instantly random emergency buy. This really does remind me of like Boeing at 89. When COVID happened and Boeing hit $89 a share. That's literally what this reminds me of. It's right here. It was when 89 happened. Yeah, 89. We hit 89. We never went below it again. And then every single after hours day or any day after that was just like a pop. That's what this reminds me of. And look what happened after that. So I wouldn't be surprised if you had a pretty... I'm not saying it's going to do this size move. Definitely not. But we went through 3 fib extension targets of a gap down. And I talked about how impressive that would be to even make it to a second level. To make it to the third, to make it through a third would be insane. So the fact that we made it down to another psychological level is pretty crazy. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is back above 450 in the next half month or month. I would not be surprised. This is that kind of setup. Now, I'm not saying buy a bunch of random shit. You guys already know my positioning on this. I've talked about just buying shares of this. I don't know if I'd be looking at options trades too much, but I know you guys are some demons, so I can only I can only say so much to stop you. But I definitely do not disagree with people looking at this for short-term upside, because this is one of those setups where it does just impulse move back up. But not to 585, not to where I think a lot of people would be like, oh, where it's going to go back to where it fell from, right? No, I think it's just going to go to where the support was at, so 450s. There wasn't any real support here or here. These were just fib extension targets, and this is just more price history than support. I'm throwing up air quotes like you can see me. But yeah, so that's what I would be looking at, because that is a pretty interesting chart. Honestly, anytime anything's on a big discount and it's a big company, it's pretty important. That's why when people see like Tesla fall or go up a bunch, they want to go trade it more, because it's making moves. Follow that momentum. Ooh, JPM. Yo, Alexis, you might want to put this on your watch list too. I think I was watching them because of earnings or something. Yeah, because they had it was the week that we had all those bank earnings, but since then I haven't really looked at them. They've just been going up. MCD daily. Sorry guys, I'm catching up to y'all's messages. I'm just taking my time. Oh yeah, this could blow up to like 350. I only say 350 because I'm just thinking the next psychological number. It's already kind of out the next one, 325, but this is interesting because it's been compounded under this for a very long time now. This one struggled though. It's been on the struggle train since back here. They were stuck under this forever. And this looks like shit. Like if you isolate this, it's a lot of lower highs. It looks like it should fall. Then you zoom back out and you isolate just this. Whoops. Yeah, just barcodes, guys. You isolate just this part here. You can see it's a completely different trend, and this is what's sitting on top of that. So it's like we're about to get this for a second time. So it looks like we should be looking for a move like this, popping into new highs. So I would say every $10 this is probably going to hit, but 350 would be like my ultimate target if I was looking at MCD. Just because this is we already know how much struggle train it's had down here. The fact that it didn't fall through the floor back here is insane. The fact that it's holding that as support is pretty crazy. Basically, since this candle, it's just super bullish. Retaking right here, holding, hitting target, holding, pushing higher, pushing, kind of testing its gangster. Hitting it here, holding the higher low again. Even though it fell and rejected, it didn't fall and break the next level. It literally went down to hold the next level again. And now this is the return move back up, as this recent couple green candles. So I wouldn't be surprised, just like I said on UNH, in the next half month or month, that it's up at that next bigger target. I think we said 450 for UNH, 350 for MCD. I would not be shocked. And yeah, we called out that Boeing move in the chat at that time. I think you were still in my chat when we called it out. You were just a member. Everybody was getting their gains, man. COVID was nice, man. COVID really did make a lot of leaders and a lot of good trades, because we got to kind of feel the market when it felt horrible, but also that euphoric moment of like, oh my god, this is a buying moment. Like, if anybody in here has ever seen The Big Short, it's literally like that, like the end of the movie, when he's just like sitting there ripping up envelopes and someone's calling him like, dude, you're buying the dip. And it's because like everybody's fearful, everybody's selling everything, there's red charts everywhere, there's blood everywhere. And that's why the past month and a half in the streams, and I know I haven't streamed a crazy amount, but in the streams or in my tweets or in my Discord posts, like, I really have pushed away that point. Please focus on DCA on any of your favorite long-term picks, because you're going to regret this come 6 months from now, a year from now, 4 years from now. You're going to regret not buying some of these stocks at some of these better prices. And you don't have to be right. That's the awesome thing about dollar cost averaging when you're buying dips on stocks that you like, is you don't have to be right. You don't. A lot of people think like, oh, well, I got in and then for 3 months it just kind of consolidated and then it went up. It's like, so what's the problem? Like, I didn't hear like the problem in that story, but what the way they tell it, you know, they're like, oh, well, I didn't like that I had to hold it for 3 months. It's like, what did you expect? It's a longer term hold that you're looking for. Like, what, you know, don't sit there and be like, oh, well, I'm dollar cost averaging on the stock, and then the next day be pissed that it's down 1%. It's like, bro, what? That's literally the strategy against. So did you already do a full review of your... Oh, never mind. You kind of did. Never mind, Tobias. It's kind of in your channel already. Dude, I saw the funniest comment the other day on one of these economic posts, and it was like, how has Iran been like weeks away from nuclear capability for 20 years or something like that? And I was like, holy shit, like that made me like laugh a little bit, because I was like, oh my god, they're right. It's just funny. It's like, how have they always been a week away from making nukes? You bought the 320 weekly for this week on UNH 256 and sold for break even. Now 350%. I should have more faith. You should. If you're going to buy a dip on a thing like that, you have to know you're doing like a suicide trade. Might as well hold it longer. You got to remember, I would say if there's one thing I could tell anybody that definitely helped me a lot, would be like treat your trade as you're treating your entry. And a lot of people are like, what the hell does that mean? If you're entering an aggressive entry, you should have an aggressive exit. If you're entering a trade that you definitely know is a little risky, and you're buying the dip on something that's just kind of been falling, you kind of have to have the same mindset of, well, this position's potentially going to go to zero. because I'm randomly buying it. I have no other indication beyond that, and besides the fact that you think it's cheap, which is a good reason, but not that great of a reason. You just got to focus on like the small couple points, and then just that's it. Don't make it about anything else. Don't add extra noise to the trade. Jesus, Sand Dollar. Oh my god, and it actually went to Tobias. Oh my god, it actually went to Tobias. As any of us older viewers in here know, that is like impossible for someone who actually is here to get the gifted membership. Oh my god. Sand Dollar, if I remember correctly, the last time you did like a 10 or a 5 gifted, I'm pretty sure it went to like 4 out of 5 or like 3 of them or something that were like actually in here every day too. I'm pretty sure you're actually just lucky with gifted. I think YouTube actually takes into account what Sand Dollar wants when he gifts, because when I was gifting, it was gifting like barcode names I'd never heard before. Rigged. What's up, Ace? And thank you, Sand Dollar, sorry, for the $4 donation. And he did a free gifted sub. Sorry, I can't speak English again. And he shared the little supporter post, which shows he's been a member for 24 months just on the YouTube. And we know that's just on YouTube. Sand Dollar's been around way longer than that. You're probably pushing 3 years, huh? You pay extra to keep it rigged. He did. Oh, that is right. He did gift the $4 first. Then the membership went through. So it's like he tipped Google, and then the second one came through, and it's like, all right, who do you want to give this to? Wait a minute. He might have actually cracked the code. One second. Gotta update my Tesla post. You need more faith. Let me see. Is that the gap down fib? Or what is that? Either way, we talked about this like 2 weeks ago. And I think just seeing it hit a crazy number like that should just be a signal. I don't even think seeing a candle should be a signal in that one. I definitely wouldn't randomly just start buying it, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where you have like that intuition of like, why is this here? You know, same thing with like Microsoft, like we talked about. That was a good leeway into that conversation earlier. But seriously though, thank you, Sand Dollar, again. Thank you. I appreciate you. And thank you for teaching me how to crack the code. Tesla getting set up for another bounce up. I saw, yeah. I was posting pretty much that it could pull back to the today's open, and it didn't quite get there, so that's why I was posting that. It looks like it does when I end up getting more of that bullish momentum, which, fair enough. I mean, the market is trying to go up, or was, I should say. Consolidating here, good higher lows, but we talked about this too. We talked about, I mean, we're not really getting any signs for us to fall, so we should probably keep going up or at least test these highs, and we are about to test that high. That was my last update on SPY. I didn't really cover much more than that. If anybody needs on something on Triple Q or IWM, let me know. What chart are you guys looking at, though? Or are you guys just chilling watching this? If you guys have any requests, feel free to throw them in there. Please do not share OTCs or random over-the-counter crap. I know most of you are good for it. I knew the Oklo request was coming. Iron also looks base. Have you seen the stock? Yeah, have I seen this stock, Tobias? Are you testing me? I think he's testing me. I think he's testing to see if I pay attention to his channel or not. Yes, I pay attention. No, you're not rage baiting. I thought it was a genuine test. Because IREN, I only know that ticker because of you. This is like, that's what you told me your next SMR was going to be a while ago. So it's kind of funny that you found another ticker that literally did look like SMR, that MVST chart, that literally did exactly like your other setup. Oh, new high is popped, by the way, sorry. I had my cursor over it. Can I get it to 10 on my burner account? I appreciate you, thank you. Yeah, I need to get to streaming more. I wasn't here last week. I need to get my streams going again. My weekend runner swing went to... Oh, my bad, VC. I got you. 1 second. Uno segundo. Where is off topic? Oh, there it is. There's a guy named Arthur Shelby that joined. That's what's up. Sand dollar on Bueller trading. It's been 84 years. Hold up, I'll show this on stream. That's pretty funny. It's been 84 years. Is this the Titanic chick or who is this? I just see like underwater submerged in the back. I'm like, old lady, this has to be Titanic. That's how my brain worked. That's actually pretty funny, VC. Triple Q did hit that new high. Or that recent high, sorry. IWM also pushing beyond that recent high. Triple Q's kind of just at it. Oops. I'm curious, what does this look like? Oh my god. That is just so clean. It's cool too, cause like you could sit here and be like, "Well, I didn't know to be bullish at the beginning." It's like even if you didn't know that, like it's kind of cool how it's not even rejecting under the levels that would lead you to be short-term bearish. It's literally testing and holding it. Very, very clean bullish retest day. Kind of glad I started the stream when I did. I'm a little impressed, I should say, by how many of these halfway points of the overnight gap are lining up with almost with other levels on charts. Because for literally every chart I've gone over so far, it lines up with the level I already had from the night before, or I should say the weekend before. So that was kind of helpful too. It's actually abiding by our levels. It's not just randomly doing anything. So it looks like whether you copied the levels I threw up or you threw up the overnight gap fib, it looks like y'all had the same outcome, which is nice. Because we always talk about how the different styles of charting are kind of cool and how you can kind of do 3 different styles of charting and arrive at the exact same outcome if you just use logic of, oh, it did this at this level, or oh, it did this at that level. If this, then that, being conditional. Like, you really can just dominate any chart. It's just, did you take time to understand the context of that chart? I think that's truly where the best confidence comes from. It's not, I mean, from reps is great. Getting reps, that's awesome. Definitely not downing that. But I really do put the importance behind reading into the chart before it's even started moving and kind of talking about it before it's doing anything. Because then that's where you're going to make your most sound thoughts, have your most sound thought process, and then you'll actually be able to review that without any real, you know, corrupted criticism, I guess I should say. You're not corrupting your criticism when you're looking back and going, oh, well, I knew to be bullish here. Okay, but how did you know that? And this is where that road kind of splits for the either someone who is looking to be a better trader and someone who's just kind of like throwing money at a chart. Did you talk about it beforehand? Is this kind of what you were thinking of? Okay, set that. That's your condition set for doing this or doing that. And then stick to it. That's why I think when I always do that breakdown, I'm always like, stick to your former self. You know, don't listen to any new thing you say. You know, just stick to what you planned beforehand when you're in that trade. When it comes to features about the chart, at least. Tesla's still rejecting this area even after popping back up to it. This is a very, very important area for the chart today. This was the one setup I posted in the premium part of chat yesterday just because I was like, you know what? Tesla's sitting in a really crazy spot. This should get moving soon. We were right about at least hitting it, but we're under it and rejecting it again. So, interesting context here. As we're still above today's open on this, we're kind of stuck between a ceiling and a floor right now on Tesla. My weekend runners went to 1 at the open. I scaled in and closed at 100% plus on one set 30 minutes later and 66% on the other set. Damn. Sand Dollar. Nice scaling out, dude. I bet you were more like, okay, it's just going to keep going up. Selling those must have been kind of funny. It just kept shooting up. Alright, I'll sell another one. Alright, I'll sell another one. And then you're like, damn, why are people saying trading is hard? This is easy. That's what you're supposed to say when you win. When you win big, you're supposed to be like, this is easy. Anyone can do this. Supposed to turn egotistical. Come on, man. You know how most traders are. I was thinking that it was nice when I set up for 2 for the first sell limit order, and 20 minutes later it went bink. You're like, hold up, I must have messed this up. I must have placed my order wrong. Hold up, let me fix this. Sees huge green candles. Dude, my Boeing setup fucking killed it. I wish I had more conviction behind that one. I talked about as long as this doesn't break 184.40. Actually, I'll tell you both sides of the story. We were looking for it to break 184.40 multiple days in a row. It didn't do it this day. Well, it did do it. Failed. Didn't do it. And I think this was the first day I posted, actually, was this day. Because that very first day we looked at it, it had the open pretty much right at our level, and then it just went up, and that was it. So we didn't touch it that day. Next day, same story. Next day, same story. See what's kind of popping up here? We're getting a lot of days that look like crap, and trying to break support, they don't. They end up closing green. Then we end up getting this huge explosive move up. And we had talked about, okay, well, I guess we're not shorting this anymore. By this day, I was literally just like, okay, if this doesn't go up, I'll be shocked because of just how much we saw this hold that level so perfectly on the intraday time frames, on our smaller time frames. So that kind of led to us having which is weird. Normally you start from the bigger, you go down to the lower. This had us going like inverted. You know, we started from the bigger, went to the lower, but then we were using the lower to help us on the bigger time frames. So that was interesting. But this setup literally launched, and that was on top of the Tesla setup too. Which, I wasn't the only one who talked about this. I don't like to take sole credit in the chat, but we talked about Tesla going up a lot in the streams, and so did a few people in the chat for that recent return up. Now what we're looking for is, from where we are now, because it did have a lower open today, is this trying to break this support? And this is what I covered in my premium part of chat as well. I talked about, yes, if we do get more selling overnight, because at the time... I'll go back, give you better context. At the time, this is what we were doing. So I was like, okay, well, if we continue to get more selling, what are we going to do? And that's what we went over in that chat, and I'll show you here. If you go to I'm just looking at the last few candles, nothing crazy. You can see this huge spike up. You can see we kind of had a little bit of wicking here, a little bit of wicking here, and went back up. All I did was I just grabbed it from here. I put it to here just because it's a recent low. Kind of lines up with the close of that day a little bit. And that's it. There's no other real crazy reasoning behind why is there a level there. And so we were looking for us to go test that today if we went down from today's open. Or, sorry, from the previous day's session. So when this day was done, blah, 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 and we had some selling overnight before today's open, we were talking about us getting down and testing this level. The fact we haven't broken this and sold off is interesting because now we can continue to use this as a key level for any trades. Does that make sense, though? One second, I'm typing. Let me go to this. Sorry. Fake. Oh. I've had a lot of joy. Here, I'll just type that in chat. Ryaku is like one of the coolest people in chat. If y'all ever see him typing in trade for, definitely say hi to him. Boing. Nice candles we've got there. The boys were gearing up for the measured move up. I saw that. No, I'm proud. It's definitely nice. Like you go into the chat and it's like, oh hey, look, a bunch of like actual, you know. I say call outs, but y'all know what I mean when I say that. I don't mean it like other people do. There's a little bit of hand holding, but there's not a lot of it at all. So it's nice to see people do that, kind of spread their wings, show what they're capable of. I also just like seeing the teamwork. It's cool when you see like people who've been in the same Discord for years and just helping each other out, and just it doesn't even matter what it's about. Y'all could literally be covering fucking buying the dip on Microsoft for all like I don't care. Like talk about whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want, but definitely trading related, please. Interesting too, because a lot of random people just show up, start adding their 2 cents. Next thing you know, there's a pretty awesome conversation going on. Sometimes it leads to people adding a lot of really honestly, a lot of the time when those conversations happen, I had so many of those tickers y'all talk about in chat. Cause sometimes like I haven't even heard of some of them. I mean, mostly the ones Tobias mentioned I've never heard of, but there's a lot of them where it's like, oh, I forgot about that company, you know? Like Target. Like I think it's crazy Target's still under $100 a share. You know, I wouldn't have known about that if I didn't listen and somebody mentioned it in chat. Nike, we did get a little bit of the pop that we wanted, but I still think this one is a crazy discount. UPS is still probably near the very top of my discount list. The rest of these are just on my watch list, but those were definitely my more important setups. LW, I like this one a lot too. This is actually one of the weirdest and coolest companies I watch and talk about on these streams. If you've been around here a long time, you know exactly what company this is, but this is a potato company. Without them, we don't have McDonald's fries. So, definitely a very cool chart to pay attention to. Especially with McDonald's looking like it wants to pop those all-time highs and move higher. It might be good to look at some of their suppliers. LW is at a discount right now. Reddit, I think I watched for the memes because it is kind of crazy. It went to 230. But I don't know. I think it's kind of fun to watch Reddit. Not go on Reddit, but it's fun to watch the Reddit chart. Let me clarify that. Snow, just a super powerful chart. I don't really have anything to say about that one. Weeble, I think this is also another crazy discount buy. I will never understand how this is ever at this price, but whatever. Another cool one to kind of compare this to, that they actually make more money than, is Robinhood, and Robinhood does really well. Is this Pizza Hut? Oh no, this is Papa John's. Why do we have Pizza Hut on here? Or I mean, why do I keep saying Pizza Hut? Who the hell told me to put Papa John's on here? Really nice retake setup though. They got this like ugly like drop, little curl up. Retake of the area they lost on this low way back over here. They already hit their impulse move though. The lower high. So you're kind of stuck between those two spots. I don't know who told me to add that there, but it's there. Chewy, Chief, and his defensive stock measure move up inside of all this tariff. Moody rates mess. Yeah, I can add it to the list. So we have it there ready to go. I was going to say that. I know that's not all-time high. That is scary, dude. That is scary how that lines up, dude. Alright, well, it looks like there is a little bit of conviction for it to go up to almost 50. I like a lot of the points you made, too, especially kind of adding into why is it going up, also why could it go up more. So thank you for adding that context as well, so I'm not sitting here having to look that up. $10 always saving time. You treat Chewy like a defensive stock. They go when others are crapping out. Our pets keep us in it to win it. Okay, fair enough. No, that's pretty logical, I'd say. I'm not even sitting here like, oh, that's tinfoil hat feeling. Like, no, that sounds logical. Feels logical. I like how you put that, though. You treat it as a defensive stock. That's kind of cool. There you go. Some wisdom from the grand mind of $10 himself. What the fuck is going on the SPY chart, guys? What did I just miss? I mean, I'm kind of glad I missed it, but what just happened? My chart's got to be glitching, right? That's got to be a glitch. Excuse me. You saw how I instantly went to look at Triple Q and IWM. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, is this market wide or... It's on Weeble and TOS, not TradingView. He just said it's on TradingView. It's a phantom precursor. It's trying to tell us what the target for the day is. It's like, no, we are going to go there. Trust me. That wouldn't even be that surprising, honestly. Yeah, SPY made the higher high, but triple Qs did not. Good point, Dr. J. Kind of adding in that the market did go up, but tech did not also follow through that new high. Which I think is important, Dr. J. I'll give you the answer here in a second, but why is that kind of like extra important, what you just said? Why is it so important that tech didn't also make that new high? Did something else happen to make us be looking for that? Did any kind of discrepancy happen between the two before now? The TradingView free data does not have it. Oh, okay. That's honestly why I don't even mention TradingView, guys. Because there's a difference between people who are on paid data and not. Because it's like, and it's just really annoying to kind of deal with. I definitely feel anyone's pain on that one. Phantom precursor. I need to remember that. Trying to send us to the shadow realm down at 588. Alright, I'll give you the answer. I don't see anybody typing an answer. But the answer would be because, and I mentioned this was the max of the only update I think I gave late last night or super early this morning, is, I believe it was Rob who said futures are bleeding. I think he put like 2 red blood drops. And he is right, but at first he was wrong. It wasn't all of futures, it was just tech. Tech was the main reason we kind of fell. But in the end, he was right, though. Everything did bleed. He wasn't wrong. I'm not trying to sit here and make it a right or wrong thing. But I found that to be very interesting, and so I remembered that when I said that to Rob. And then you saying that again just now, it's kind of funny, because it's like, oh, that's funny. Like, it's not even the first discrepancy we've seen on the two. You know, when the selling started, yes, both of them went down, but tech definitely showed it a lot more. The triple Q chart. Sorry, I'll stop just saying tech. So that first discrepancy is kind of important because it shows, okay, like, tech's kind of leading the way. So if you sit here and you tell me tech's not moving higher with SPY, what does that tell me? That we might have tapped out for the day. Even if we do end up holding and moving higher somehow. I'm fixing this candle. I'm sorry, this needs to be fixed. This is just absurd. Let's put it at the low of this candle. What's the low of that candle? 592.63. Never do this at home. I do not recommend doing this to any candle. Oh, it's not going to let me. Wait a minute. What the fuck? Oh, I'm stupid. I was doing the close. I thought I clicked open. I was like, I know this works. There we go. Oh, God, it's so nice to look at. So much easier to look at. I do not recommend doing that, though, because it's... You're kind of like lying to yourself by fixing that candle. But that's a crazy one. I mean, come on, let's be honest here. That's just, like, kind of insane. Just in my face. Excuse me. VC. MSVT pumping, send it. I hope you get $1 billion a share on that chart. That'll never happen, but good luck, man. And as long as you like protect your gains now, Tobias, now that you've gotten your move, like you should never have to worry about the outcome now. So you should be like a Viking in that position. Nothing should be pushing you. It's your world. You want just 50 and I am fine? I told him $1 billion a share. He says 50. What a humble king. No, I hope you do get that move though. Be fearless though. You're pretty much can't fuck that trade up now. So be fearless. Yo, what is going on? Am I gonna have to edit every freaking candle on this chart? Intraday traders in shambles. IWM looks so good for a continued pop. I love these ugly ass grind up moves. I think that's why they work out, is because they're ugly. If it was just a straight up green candle, everybody would buy it. I already made 150% on options and 55% on common stock. Sheesh. Okay, yeah, so never mind. It's pretty much impossible for you to fuck that one up. Be fearless, Tobias. Be fearless. And good job posting that too. I appreciate that. Because that's, again, something you don't have to do and you do it out of your free time. So I appreciate that. He said, but my position is large. He's like, hold up, Bueller. I can fuck this up. Watch me. Hold my beer. You're liking CC. I have not seen somebody say Carnival Cruise Lines in a minute. Whatever happened to Royal and Carnival? Let me take a quick look at RCL real quick. I'll come back. Oh, they did a split, didn't they? Right? Oh, or did they actually recover? Hold up. Am I tripping balls? No, I am tripping balls. They did actually just recover. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I'm so used to Royal Caribbean being like literally not $100 a share. $250 though. Good for them. I know somebody who is sitting pretty on that one. There was 2 tickers old Dylan shared in his time in here. It was CCL and old RCL. Even at the time, I said, dude, these might be the best stock picks I've ever seen. RCL, he would be correct on that. CCL is still struggling a little bit compared to the other pick, but this is still doing really good considering this was the range it was stuck in for the longest time. I didn't even know it did this move. That's how much I don't watch this stock. Now, that is a crazy, crazy return. I didn't know I lived in a world where RCL and CCL were actually recovering and doing well again. This is cool. What's up, Mikey? What's good? On lunch break, so got some time to tune in listening. Hey, maybe since you're listening, you could be the first person to actually answer me. Is the music loud or do you even hear music? I've asked this 3 times and no one said anything. Alexis, what do you like about swings on this, by the way? I don't have all the I don't know what indicators you have on. It's okay. It's good. Okay. It's louder than normal. That's what I wanted to know, because it sounds loud as hell on my end. But last time I said that, y'all said it was fine, so I never really know, because these earphones are different volume than my other ones. Thank you though for saying that, because it sounded a little louder than usual, but I wanted to make sure. I'm just going to turn it way down. There we go. Because I honestly like to have it lower as well. That's what I was curious about, though, because I don't want it to be louder than anything. It needs to just be very faint in the background. That is on me, though. Sorry. We were too busy vibing. We really do just vibe hard in here, don't we? Thank you guys for showing up too. This was kind of a later stream than I was expecting to do. I didn't start it right at the open of today, so I do apologize for that. But honestly, kind of glad I missed, because as soon as I showed up, it was by the dip time on halfway points, overnight gaps. So I'm definitely not complaining about showing up at the time I did. We've been streaming for an hour 20. So that's 9:50. So this is literally the candle I started streaming. The low of the higher low so far, which again, I'm not impressed by that yet, because all we've really done is just go up, hit the high of day. We didn't even make it to the next level, and now we're getting all these insanely awesome wicks and candles and stuff now. I really like the point that I already forgot because I'm already reading too many messages, but it was either Mike or Ryaku, but whoever said Triple Q didn't keep going, spy this, spy that, the differences between them, because ever since then we have really just slowed down. Haven't broken anything, haven't changed the pace or anything. It's just we've definitely relaxed out now. Right after that high too was made. You were rocking the elevator music. Here, wait, let me see. I actually have real headphones or real earphones right now, so let's see what I make y'all listen to. It can't be that bad, right? Makes me want to just dump it all into a rocket ship and hold on like I did with Tesla for a long time. You're saying on MVST? You don't need to dump any more on it. I was looking at the inside bar on the weekly, suggesting a possible bullish continuation using the uptrend context. I want this to hold $23 or $23.50 on CCL. Okay. My bad, I didn't even look at the weekly, so I will look at that. Ah, okay. Now I see where your head's at. Instantly, do you know where my head locks onto, though? Or my eyes lock onto? This lower high, and then the open of that candle. Same thing here. These are like the weekly supplies of that move down. Your last one, which if you want to just delete that one and just go off this if you want, using your weekly setup. That's what I would focus on. If you're watching the weekly like you were. I like that you found that setup, though. Whoops. Just remember, though, it is only Monday. This could pop the top and it's not an inside bar anymore. But I like where your head's at. Using that weekly to kind of warm you up into this daily setup, and maybe you're looking at it on smaller, I don't know. You said the 4 hour, I believe. Good job, though. That's how you should be taking that approach. Also, I want to see more of you abusing that mechanic I use in the premium chat. It's not like some hidden trick. It's just using time frames. But you could literally just find any candlestick pattern on the daily time frame. Delete everything on your screen. Just mark that pattern. Mark the halfway point. Focus on some smaller time frame levels. And that's it. It's actually really awesome. It's really fun to do. Another phantom wick? Yeah, we're really getting the phantom disruption today. Looking for some cheap tickers? Bet. If you find more, let me know. I always love looking at cheap ones as well. I was trying to find a few as well. The cheapest one I found was JD. That was like actually moving. But this is so China related, it's not even funny. So that's a touch with the stick kind of chart. But I really like the dips that get bought on this. I was interested in this. I hated that it had earnings. I really did like this setup a lot. I loved this setup. If you're in my streams, you heard me say I want to go long on this every day that week. But I didn't because they had earnings. And it ended up moving up. Now we're back down here again. So I'm kind of watching to see in the same exact way. Do I get a good buy above this level? Do I get any good candles around here? If I do, I'm buying that dip. I like the risk reward on that. For short-term option swings. Not looking for I'm not looking for glory. I'm not looking to make it to 40. As cool as that would be. Yeah, Dr. J, that is true. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's not tinfoil hat to think that dark pools exist and that late orders get calculated late. That is an actual thing. I've heard this from many people who've actually been behind the scenes at the stock market. It's not some hidden thing. But a lot of people will have you believe that it's like, oh, that's bigger money trying to fuck you. Like, what? Yeah, man, bigger money sitting there thinking about your fucking $1,200 account. But no, they're not. But yes, you are correct, Dr. J. That is exactly why those happen. A lot of the time. It's late calculations. I've actually talked about this a lot because I really love trading the open on opening tickers. Whenever the market opens, a lot of people wonder, like, why is my option not moving yet? It's because they're going through a calculation. There's that morning calculation for your options contract, but also there's a rolling calculation across the market. They don't just open the market and every single ticker is moving at the exact same time. Sometimes one opens and it doesn't move instantly. That's because it's not part of the calculation yet. I remember seeing this one day on McDonald's, and I had to ask this one guy that was super, super experienced. He owns another group. I think he had to end his group because one of his like mods was was scamming people. But he himself was a decent guy and is pretty knowledgeable. Got this huge, crazy house, crazy amount of cars. But he was talking to me about this, and he was like, "Yeah, there is like such thing as like a late calculation, and that is a thing. That is an actual thing. It's not tinfoil hat to believe that." But yes, phantom wicks or whatever we want to call them, it is most of the time late reporting or late calculations. So whenever you see those a lot of the time, that's why you see me edit them, because it's like, for me, it's just fucking up the zoom of my chart, right? It doesn't really hurt me or tell me anything. First off, where am I putting this? $592.63, man. That's our best friend today. But very good point made, Dr. J. I'm really glad you said that. Because I don't think a lot of people in our chat really care, but I know sometimes we sit there and we think about these things and some of us overthink, so it is nice to know that. Well, I know I overthink. I'll sit there and have, like, situations gone in my head that don't even exist yet. The market is a zero-sum game, dude. Others have to lose for you to win. Tobias is having fun on that MVST chart. This is the music I have y'all listening to? Holy crap. I must hate y'all. Hold up, we're changing this. To be fair, my selections are limited, but there's got to be better music than that. What about this one? It's got Homer Simpson on the front. Hold up. We got something here. This is also kind of mid, but it's a little bit better than elevated music, I guess. Overthink, yes, please. Overthink, I don't have a choice. What the fuck, dude? I'm just gonna go to SPX. They're leaving this chart alone with that crap, so we'll go to them. I always love, if you guys notice too, and I know some of my older viewers in here will notice this, but I always leave this, like, at least something from the left on my screen because I need it. Excuse me, I can't breathe. For recent context. In this case, we have it for this reason, which you don't even really need it marked today, but let's just throw that on there for example's sake. It's nice to have that recent context, though, so you know where you're coming from. You're not just like, oh, we had a big Green Day today. Like, yeah, no shit. But what happened from yesterday? You'd see we're actually still down. Bet. See you later, Dr. J. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you. And thank you guys for all the likes on the stream. I don't even know if I said like or not. I forgot to share the stream link earlier, so I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't even tell anyone to like the stream. UNH looking like a retest, trying to bow out now, or trying to bow now. I took that 2 different ways, I'll be honest. You said bow now, and I was thinking bow nose, you know? Because bow nose. Chewy looking decent too. I thought y'all already said Chewy. Or someone did. Yeah, Sandeller did. Sandeller did. Yeah, you're good. I actually put it on the watch list too. Alexis. I even put it there because of him. But I got you. If you mention anything, I'll be watching it. Because yeah, he said he liked it too. Because not just the chart, but he likes it from the other fundamental reasons as well. There's a lot of good reasons why Chewy should be going up. I like this thought process behind it too, kind of treating it as like a defensive stock. Which I've never heard anyone say that before, so I'll probably remember that forever now. I think that's brilliant. But good mention though, that's a good ticker to have on watch. No, you're good, Alexis. Dude, never ever apologize for bringing up a setup that someone else already said. Like, if anything that reinforces, hey, watch this. You know, it reminds myself, hey, watch this. Hey, watch this. Hey, watch this. Like, if I didn't read UPS from Mike so many times or remind myself sometimes, I would forget it. But I can't forget it now. I literally can't forget it. It's a curse now. We're stuck remembering UPS till the end of time. and I'm totally fine with that. I want it to be that way. I don't want to forget about the good setups. Some of them are going to take a lot longer than others. Some of them won't. So definitely feel free to always reinforce, hey, weren't you guys watching this? Hey, can we watch this? Weren't y'all guys mentioning this? You know, it's good to bring it up again. This isn't like when you're talking to someone and it's like, oh, they already talked about how their day was. I can't ask them how their day was. It's like, bro, you could literally ask me how Chewy is every single day, and you will not annoy me. Even if somebody already said it, too. Because if anything, it's like, all right, good. We're all, like, excited to be watching it. We're ready for it. We're motivated to be looking for it. You've got a paralegal Zoom conference call coming up in 30. Need to prep for it. Trade safely, peeps. See you later, $1. Have a great meeting. Be safe in your paralegal Zoom conference. What's up, John Wayne? What about Fubo? That is another name I've not heard in a while. How is old Fubo doing? This had a stock split, right? I'm not tripping. Oh, no, it is just down that much. Okay, never mind. I was always curious why this was ever down, to be honest. Because isn't Fubo like Roku in a lot of ways, where it's in like a shit ton of devices? So even if there's not a lot of people using it, it's everywhere. No merger news? Oh, okay. I was always curious why this was down. I always thought this was in a lot of, like, devices. I always thought of it as like a secondary Roku. Because Roku was hated on too, but it's like, how are you going to hate on Roku? It's in like 1 billion devices across the planet. Even if people aren't using it, it's everywhere. That's interesting, though. I'll put Fubo on the list, too. Can't even see that list. Nice. Let's pull that up a little bit. Dude, what the heck? Clicks are a little buggy today. They're a little Buggy the Clown today. Disney, Hulu, and... Wait. I just combined Hulu and Fubo. Disney, Hulu, and Fubo are supposed to combine? Is that true? That's pretty insane. Is that rumors or actual news? News? Oh, wait, this was back in January. Dude, come on. There we go. See you, Tobias. Be safe. Tell the wife we said hi. Or don't. I genuinely did not hear a single thing about this. I don't think it's what you're saying, though. You're saying merging. They're not merging. It was one venture for one part of their companies. It wasn't a complete merger, I don't think. Yeah, it's a joint streaming venture. Venue Sports. It was for sports. It wasn't for everything. That is still insane, though. Because I would love an idea like this. The news came even though Disney agreed to merge its services. Fubo actually launched the injunction. That's crazy. Ah, so Fubo's blocking it. As part of Hulu plus live TV merger, Disney they're paying Fubo $220 million. That's crazy. So they all came up with a deal. Disney said, let's do it. And then Fubo said, just kidding. Give us our money. But on Thursday, Senate challenged did nothing to resolve antitrust concerns, setting the stage for another legal battle. That's awesome. I can't believe I didn't hear anything about this. I also don't watch streaming services like stocks. I pretty much just watch the Netflix chart, and I don't even really trade it anymore. Whoa, I can throw my cursor on here? Damn, that's a pretty cool piece of news, John Wayne. I didn't even know that happened. Kind of sucks it fell out, but it looks like Fubo got their bag. And look, okay, so look, on that one article, it said antitrust concerns. Here's the end of February talking about the antitrust concerns. So it looks like Fubo and Disney are going to go back at it again. I don't see any more news on it here recently. Oh, here it is. DOJ probing it. I was just about to say that at the beginning, too. I was like, how would this ever happen, though? You can't have those three companies ever be on the same deal. That would literally not happen. It's going to get blocked by the DOJ every time. I don't know. They just don't like Disney. Oh, here you go. Oh, that was all the communication sector. Never mind. Yeah, so it does seem old. It does seem like a lot of this has already kind of happened. I don't really know beyond that. But reading through the news feed is pretty interesting. I haven't had that much fun reading through a news feed in a while. That was kind of fun. But yeah, we'll keep Fubo on there. That'll be interesting because even if they do go in legal battles a lot more with Disney, it's going to be fun watching their name pop up a lot more. And as a cheap ticker, it's also, I say it's fun because it's not as much risk as compared to watching like Nvidia while watching these kind of news plays come out. But still risky because it is, again, catalyst trading. But I'll leave it on that watch list because that is very interesting. I didn't hear anything about that. And if I did, I probably just forgot about it super quick. I definitely don't remember that, though. You just buy the dips. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, but I think that's still a great thing for Fubo to at least be in the mix. Jesus Christ, I'm getting off this chart. But I don't know. That looked like a pretty cool idea, though, huh? If all the companies came together, did their own sports service, then we'd only have to pay one, because Disney owns ESPN, as we all know. That would be pretty cool, but it looks like it's not going to happen. Man, when you said merger, you gotta be more, in your details. When you said that, I genuinely thought you meant Fubo, Hulu, and Disney all are merging. Because that would be crazy. That would be something that would never happen. That would actually break my mind. But the joint venture, that is something that's possible. That is a very different conversation. Very cool to see them try to go down the sports streaming route too. Because I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't watch sports, even if you're just watching a little bit? I think. No, you're good, John. You're good. When I first read that, I was like, bro, I would have definitely heard about this. I felt like I was dishonoring the stock market for a second. I was like, no way. But no, that was good, though. I'm glad we went through that. First I heard of it. Disney and legal battles, man. Those go hand in hand. Also cool, because I haven't checked on Fubo in a freaking huge minute. Probably since Roku is last actually bullish for a long-term amount of time was the last time I looked at Fubo. So COVID era. It's weird saying COVID era and we're in 2025. It feels like a lifetime ago. BILL, Mike with another one. Starting to base down after gap down after ER miss in February. Started basing in April 37, 39, level 46. It's okay, we like them slow movers. Real quick, what is this company? I like the ticker though. Bill. Wait, is this Bill.com? It is. Okay, this is actually a cool company. Hold up, Mike. I actually half know what this company is. Okay, this is kind of cool. In short, they're just a payment and billing software maker, but it's cool because their name is literally Bill. That's the only reason I knew of them is because I forgot what it was, but there's always those things you see on YouTube, those shorts, and it was going through characteristics of companies and saying this company's like this and this is their name, like Coinbase. Coinbase covers coins and it is coin. It's kind of, it's stupid, okay, but this was one of them. Is what I'm trying to get at. It deals in what its name is. It's companies that actually have the ticker name for what they do. No divvy, though? That sucks. Hold up. Let me see. Bill.com's market share varies across different segments. In the billing and invoicing category, it has a market share of only 0.54%. In the accounts payable category, market share is 0.85%. In the accounting category, 0.7. Globally, Bill estimates a market share of roughly 1.7% within the SMB back office financial software market. Billing and invoicing. Dude, their competitors are huge. QuickBooks, PayPal, SquarePoint, Stripe, Venmo, NetSuite. Did I already say Square? Holy shit. In accounting, QuickBooks is the leader, holding almost 72.5% of the market. Payment management, yeah, we know that's PayPal. It's funny because it says PayPal leads with 35.6% market share of payment management, followed by Stripe, Aiden, and Venmo, which is funny because that's the same company. So technically they have over 42% of market share. SMB back office financial sector, 1.7% of this sector. Okay, so they don't have like the greatest market share, but I mean, let's be honest. Look who they're dealing with. Plus, almost 2% of market share for this is still got to be a pretty insane amount of money. Okay. This isn't bad. This isn't bad. Alright, I'll add it to the list. Jesus. Gotta hit the arrow to go down more. Nice look. Nice find. If this had the same market shares like QuickBooks, it wouldn't even be at this price. So I guess I can't sit here and make that the one discounting factor behind it. What is QuickBooks ticker? Into. Oh, it's Intuit. I'm so stupid. Yeah, see, okay, yeah. I was gonna say. This is what a chart looks like when it has 75% market share. What's COVID? It's like PayPal. PayPal 19. Good find, Mike. I really do like when you guys bring random tickers like that even if I'm familiar with the sector it's in, I definitely have never looked at Bill myself. But cool to kind of look and see how much market share does it have. Because in my eyes, that has a lot of importance. So if it has a lot of market share and it's a huge discount, even bigger of a buy, in my opinion. Not that huge market share, still really, really good risk reward on that chart. You saw it on the monthly. I still think that's a huge find. Plus, it's I'm talking about like small market share. But that's just one thing, and it's also like who are their competitors? Like they're literally dealing in one of the highest revenue sectors of the market, I would say. Yeah, Intu's a beast. I hope your bill does that. What's up, Neary? I'm just going to copy and paste what my friend said, because we already went over this. I wouldn't think too much about it, though. If you're talking about the ones that are happening on the smaller time frames, Neary. If you mean a different time frame, let me know. No problem. Thank you for asking. I'd rather someone ask than just start freaking out. That's actually why I moved to SPX for the stream, Neary, just because it is kind of annoying to watch. But right now, I'm more just focused on you guys and going through different setups and talking about different things. It's almost noon, so I'm just kind of enjoying myself. How is everyone doing in there? Feel free to ask questions or just comments or conversate, whatever. You said now killed it? I have it charted from one of you. I must have just been marking an overall range and then looking at where it would gonna fall to. Whoops, I didn't mean to go to the 2 minute or 5 minute. Yeah, it's definitely a psychological thing, Mike. I 100% agree, if that's what you're saying. I 100% agree, because I'm pretty big on that. Whenever someone asks me, like, yo, what's your target on this or that, and the level's too far, I mean, 99% of the time, I'm grabbing a psychological... Like right here. This is probably a bad example, but it still gets my point across. When you see 340, 339s, 347, like, what's that in-between number? You know, and, like, I'm looking in the middle of it, and I'm like, it's like 344. You know, and that's a good, quick, psychological way to think about things. That's exactly what I think about that, too, when you're... How you put that was every $1,000 stock goes down to hit 750. I agree with that 100%. But I believe it ties into that, like, whole psychological factor of, well, it went down to the next bigger area. So even if it doesn't continue selling off or more or not, it doesn't matter. It at least went down to the next area. Next key area. That's how I see it, too, though. Which, fair enough. I don't blame people for thinking like that either, because I feel like that's, like you said, or like we're saying, psychological. Alright guys, we have officially hit a lot of the bigger targets for the day. You're either looking for a small pop over this, or higher probability tells us this should reject and come back down and kind of just stick between this the rest of the day. If we don't get an exciting move above or below. What the hell just happened there? I'm going to share this. People are going to be like, what the hell? He doesn't have those wicks. Yo, actually, Jay is eating right now. UNH and MSTR. He's up 35% on MSTR. He's up 53% on UNH. Possible base building forming here on Tesla. Good job, Alst. Just remember, this is a resistance still. We haven't really fixed that yet. But we're kind of stuck above today's open. Whoops, I'm not trying to make that so damn big. Actually, I think Alst is in here. I don't know why I'm sharing that to you again. Almost got a full retracement to 594.50. It is insane when you look at the bigger time frame. And you're just thinking, not even this right here. I'm just thinking about, like, between, like, here. Whoops. Between, like, here and this high. That's, like, the main focus right now. LRD said cost maybe. Yeah, I will definitely look at that more and bring it up in there. I think cost was one of the few $1,000 tickers I was calling out actively. I kind of stopped for a second. Anytime that thing dips, though, pay attention. Good call out by Mike talking about the Friday SPY end of day high. Just about getting hit. Not perfectly, as he said, but pretty close. We got to the meat of it at least. Immediately checks his AI watch list stickers. I have 342.37 market Tesla. It's Wednesday's open. What's up, Alice? Good to see you, dude. 342.37. I'm just gonna mark it and trust you. 342.37. Make sure I got that read right. I do. Wednesday's open. Good looks. Wait, let's see if that's right. He is right. That was Wednesday? Oh, it was. Damn. Alright, the 14th. Wow, you got a perfect rejection on that today, Alice. Good shit. Also kind of lines up with PDL. Actually, it is PDL. It's like the same level, basically. I think this is off by like a cent. No, 4 cents, sorry. 4 cents. I'm seeing good basing, like you said. We've seen good rejections as well. But I did like your point that you brought up basing, because it is trying to. We are over today's open still. I just wanted to make sure you saw that too, but it looks like you already had something else in mind. Good looks though. I definitely appreciate the Tesla updates. I'm updating it a lot in the premium part of chat as well. So I love when you guys bring it up as well, because it's just a fun ticker to watch, even if you're not actively trading it every single day or every week. It moves a lot, so it's fun to update because you get a lot of updates out. So even if you're not actively trading, you're just trying to get some good mental reps. This is a really good chart too, because it moves. I think I would have said the same about NVIDIA about a year ago. Now I'm on the lesser side of that, but I still love NVIDIA. She's still really pretty, and she moves a lot. Good looks though, Alice. Thank you for sharing your reasoning on the level you had. That helps me out. Putin-Trump phone call concludes. RIA. The hell's that stand for? My conversation with the Trump was very mean. Wait, this is from Putin's mouth. Hold up. My conversation with Trump was very meaningful. The call was very informative and helpful. Wow, good job, Putin. It's like, thanks. Trump stated his position on ceasefire immediately. Trump said Russia favors peaceful resolution of Ukraine crisis. My ass. Russia ready to work with Kiev on a memorandum on future peace talks. Ceasefire with Ukraine is possible once agreements are reached. Yes, that's how that works. Why are we like repeating the same comment like 60 times? Sometimes I think our world leaders around the world are just AI. Max Payne Spy. I don't mind your sonar predictions. I just think they're a little too huge because it's like not really a prediction if you're giving me an entire range that any logical person could give you. But you should definitely check this out. I do appreciate the updates. I think those ranges are like so wide. It's like, how is that even helpful? I guess it's helpful to have like an area of context of like, this is where we should be. But I think that should be obvious if you have info in front of you. 342.95 has a supply zone's chance to stay. There you go, Drew. That's what I want to see. Thank you. That added context. Don't just say the range. Thank you for adding that extra context. That is actually helpful. Good shit, Drew. Droove. How am I supposed to say it? Is it Drew? Droove? Honestly, either are kind of dope. Your name is perfectly 5 letters, and then your last name is perfectly 5 letters, and both start with a D. I can call you Drew? Okay. You got a pretty cool name, not even gonna lie. Desai? You sound like an assassin. Supply for Spy is at 594. There we go. That's what I like to see. Good updates. That's what I want to see. Updates with context. If I just said I'm bullish on Tesla, that's not going to help you, is it? No. I got to give you context on where I'm bullish from, where I'm bullish to, why am I bullish. Therefore, when any of those things break or I get any kind of extra information of one of those areas that I just previously mentioned, then I can act accordingly. It's just thinking logically. It's really nice. But thank you for those updates. That context is how you think logically. It's how you have that set up in front of you. If I just say I'm bullish, it doesn't really help anything. How was everyone's weekend, by the way? Now that we're just chilling here and it's almost noon. How was everyone's weekend? Anybody watch any cool movies or shows? Go out and do anything cool? Eat anything cool? Meet anybody famous? Option, yeah. Alexis, I just read what you said. I saw the word reptilian and I was like, what the hell am I reading? Weekend was good. Trained my assistant coaches for the upcoming summer swim season. Okay. Oh, I forgot you do that, Alst. Alst is the attractive lifeguard in our chat. Had game on Sunday, lost badly, could not defend the high score. What game? You had soccer, or what do you play? No, I know you're not a lifeguard. I'm downplaying you so hard right now. Cricket? Oh, cricket, okay. I forgot your Euro style. But you're over here in America. The amount of European Americans we have in here. Like actual European. Why can't post... Wait, what? Why can't paste screenshot of my analysis in Discord? It might be because you don't have a role, but I don't know. You're just taking a screenshot and trying to post it in the trade floor and it's not letting you? What's up, Dr. J? Good to see you. I made sure that I was on still for you. 1 second, I gotta grab this. Fuck. Oh. Octa. Drew. I'll have to get back to you on that. I don't know why. I think it's tied to the fact that you don't have any membership in my chat, but I didn't think you had to have one to post and trade for. Oh, you know what I might have done? That is what I did. Hold up. Alright, close your Discord, open it again, try again, Drew. I might have fixed it. If not, you will have to wait. But I think I fixed it. No, you're good, you're good. My UNH shares are up 23%. Dude, I fucking love hearing that. SFM, wait, there's a poor man's Costco? Say swear. Oh, it's Sprout, never mind. I don't know if this is the poor man's cost, honestly. Have you been in one of these before? This reminds me more of a Whole Foods than it does a Costco. At least the ones near me. I don't know about all of them. This is like a poor man's Whole Foods, actually. At least the ones in, like, South Texas. Dude, you got me excited for a second. I'm not even gonna lie. I think any company that's like Costco is just set up for success. No, this is interesting, though, because I don't think I've ever even looked at Sprout's chart before. This has a lot of cost features, though. That sharp drop, that slow recovery back up. Yeah, you can see they're kind of still on that recovery back up on cost. And then SFM... It's like, it's done that move, slowed down, going for part 2. Oh, the chart trajectory. My bad. The way you said it, I was like, oh my god, there's another Costco company? Dude, you just got me so excited. Alright. I will add this to the list. You are very correct on that, though. Chart trajectory is the exact same. If not similar. Very similar. Good looks, Mike. I can almost always rely on like you and like 2 other people in chat to fill up my watch list every single month. Not of crap either. It's actually full of like pretty decent tickers in here, so I do appreciate that. I take pride in my daily ticker watch list. I love looking through those. Compared to the ACI chart? Whoa. Oh, Albertsons. Okay, fair enough. Hey. I actually don't know what is in these because I've never been in one. I don't even think I've seen one. If I have seen one, I've just not even noticed. But yeah, you are correct, though. Very different. Kind of a similar shape in this like recent move, but very different. It's also fun, too, like how you're doing it, too. You're looking at, like, stocks that are kind of similar in sector, but also chart-wise. So it's kind of cool to see the differences or similarities in them. Good looks, though. I don't even know how you know that many, but you do. It's big on the West Coast, or at least Cali. Oh, okay. I've heard it before. I've definitely heard of it before. I just couldn't recall being in one or seeing one. Like, what's another one I know of but I haven't been in? What's the one they use in... what is that company name, dude? My Scottish friends literally go to this one all the time. Aldi's. Like, I feel like I've never been in an Aldi's, but I know they exist. Yep, good looks, guys. We broke that previous day high, previous day close. Kind of a combination of multiple levels here too. High impact area. And I think that's really why I like to highlight areas like that. It's not because it's like, oh, there's 2 levels close. It's like, it's just a high impact area. There's a chance that you won't just use one or the other. There's a chance you might use both. Kind of glad we had it here for this area here. 2 days ago, I saw a few of you giving me props, even though I wasn't so active in the chat about this level here. I typed out 585.39 to 585.96 couple, or whatever day this was. I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. Thursday, I think. And then they went up, used the next one. Next day, went up, used the next one. Today, went up, used this one. It's like they're just using these high impact areas over and over again right now. So it's very easy for us to kind of break down what it's trying to do, but it's also easy to overtrade those kinds of days. So Kroger's been killing it. Good. Yeah, it's definitely no Kroger. You got that right. The Aldi's by you is like Trader Joe's for trashy people. Never buy from Aldi's. They sell poison. Jesus. I've definitely never been in one. I only know that because I had like 2 Scottish friends that would literally just not shut up. They'd be like, yeah, man, I went to Aldi's. They just keep saying Aldi's every 5 seconds. I said Scottish and then I gave like a British accent. In Europe, it's a different thing? Is it really? Yeah, good for Kroger, though, to be fair. Is Warren Buffett still in Kroger? I guess I could just look that up. You've been in Germany, Aldi's pretty good. Yeah, that's literally what these guys were telling me. They're like, dude, our Aldi's are like heaven. So I just always figured they were really nice places. But then someone from here told me they weren't. I don't know, I've just never been to one. I can't judge. I was just saying my Scottish friends glaze them, and I've never heard of them before. New high of day. We'll see if it continues. Jeez, this music sucks. Oh, we definitely can't listen to that. That's copyright as hell. Non-copyright. I can't remember that one lady's name with the copyright music. I need to remember her name because she had pretty decent music. And it wasn't copyright striked. I don't care about copyright strikes. I just don't want my streams to be muted. Because I've had a pretty incredible number of people message me and be like, yo, bro, your stream's quiet. I'd be like, what are you talking about? Then I go watch it. It's muted. It's because the copyright strike. Well, not a strike, but the copyright mutes the audio. This is literally the same playlist. That one lied to me. Alright, we're going to try this one out. See just how bad this music can get. It's my youngest brother's birthday today. I forgot that. Oh, there you go, Drew. It lets you. There you go. I can't type worth the shit. Then again, when could I? Dude, this is pumping good. Good call out. After that new high of day over the previous day high, which is Friday's high, we're saying previous day, but we all know. Actually making it not past the level, but almost into the next one. This is actually a really, really good move. Let me turn off this crap. And we'll zoom in on this. Bada bing, bada boom. Very good update on that previous day high breakout. Spy daily outside bar. You little smartasses, man. Y'all just love. I swear, Leland has literally turned you all into a bunch of demons now. I never heard anyone look for outside bars preemptively before. Like, that's what me and Leland do all the time, because that's just how we see the charts. And I think that's why a lot of people find us to be so interesting, because we see it preemptively. But I'm starting to see that every single fucking time in chat now. Every time we get a lower open or a higher open, I see like 3 or 4 of you go in there, and it could be like 5 minutes in the day, and y'all be like, yo, potential outside bar could happen today, guys. It's like as soon as y'all see that, like, that first parameter hit, you're like, guys, it could happen today. And then here it is. You get your break of previous day high. Technically, we have made our outside bar. I love how much of you are being preemptive with it, though, because anybody can sit here and be like, well, that's a bullish hammer, and that's a bearish candlestick, and this is that, and this is that. Like, that's great and all, but doing it in the moment is not worth shit. You got to do it preemptively. So, and I've been seeing that a lot more in the trade floor. I've been seeing a lot of you little demons go in there and be like, yeah, we got a lower open. Today could be an outside bar. It's like, it's crazy that you're even thinking that. You know, so think about the, like, the format or the plan, the blueprint of the outside bar. Like, okay, we got the lower or higher open. What does that mean then? What is the next step in an outside bar? What does it have to do to even potentially have a chance of becoming one? And don't sit there and say it has to make that new low or new high. No, it has to test the halfway point first. That halfway point is crucial. So the fact that we got the lower open or higher open on any case of day, a lot of the time after you've settled or you get your spike move or you get your drop, whatever direction you're in that day, today's case it was a lower open with a spike move up, your highest probability target is that midpoint. right? You have two midpoints in today's price action that you could have used, right? And here we can go to a different chart. We'll do it all together. So before I put them, what are the two midpoints that I could put on this chart? 1 second, I'm going to go grab something. But what are the two midpoints that I could put on today's intraday chart? Damn, nobody answered? Nobody answered my quiz question. I even gave y'all time when I walked away. I asked, what are the two midpoints you could add on today's chart? That should have already been there before today's price action. You could even say, into today's open, what were the two midpoints that should have already been marked? The question pinned, if I pin it, then I'm going to have to move the pinned link that's already there. I can't pin every question I ask. I'm asking and moving on. I'm not sitting here and talking about this for 40 minutes straight. We need the question pinned. And Mike doesn't need to be answering this. Everybody else needs to be answering this. I know Mike knows the answer. What about all you newbies? Come on, throw yourself out there. Make a mistake. Get a question wrong. It's okay. What are the two types of midpoints that we could have, or what are the two midpoints we could have had on today's chart going into today's open? Alice, you said, I traded my first outside bar on one of the most recent trades, and man, it was the funnest trade I've ever been. It's nice because it's probably fun because, one, it worked, but two, because you had a, how do I say this? A course of action. You had a course of action. Like, if this happens, you were going to do this and expect it to go to this, and if it failed, you're going to expect it to do that. That's what trading is. Like, an outside bar, an inside bar, these are really fun to trade when you guys get that down because they really are condition-based. And that's what a lot of our trading is. And it's condition-based. Garden got it. Letterbuck got one of them. And VC got one of them. But Garden got both of them. Garden got both of them. So she's better. But y'all are all correct. Yes, the previous day midpoint. Glad I got that one at least. Which I was about to mark that wrong for a second. 591.89. Remove that. Which you could honestly leave that if you want, but I don't really like to. Because if you get the overnight gap, this is what we really want to see. You go from the, previous day close to the today's open. And we get, oh, I had it on the first try. 591.19. And together, these can be used today. And it was used perfectly today. Without any fancy way of grabbing that, without any fancy indicators. It's just a really awesome area of the chart to look at for potential direction. If under it, we're bearish. If above it, we're bullish. If we're under it and we're working up, that's our target. If we're above it and we're working down, that's our target. Like, it's, use it. It's a pivot point. It's a pivot area. But great answers, guys. Great answers. Because I'm not joking. Halfway points have got to be probably the most slept on. Even I slept on them at the beginning. Like, I sit there and say everyone sleeps on them. Like, even I slept on them at the beginning. When Harlan first showed these, I was like, yeah, I guess all right. I'll throw it in my chart. Yeah, they do get used. Like, I saw that they were important, but I never saw the importance behind them until much later on. And then later, we get the halfway gap down, or, sorry, the gap fib halfway point, this one right here. And it gives you another great level. Leland helping us with that as well. So it's kind of funny we're using two different traders of BB over the long term to kind of help us with these with such a super simple system of levels, right? You could have all your emerging candles up, right? You have all these emerging candles up on your screen. Why isn't it clicking? You know, and all this junk. But like, you can get lost in the translation of like, what the fuck am I supposed to be looking for, you know? And then you see this, it's like, okay, well, it retook that. I know that's bullish. Okay, but to where? To that level. Okay. And then once it retakes that, to what? To where? To that level. And then what happens when you get there? You're looking to see for the rest of the day, is this rejecting or holding this? Because that will give you that secondary decision. Right? It's made its move up in the first phase of the day. It actually, I say first phase of the day, I did it within 30 minutes. Then it decided to hold. Then it decided to make higher lows, give us those signs that bulls are potentially trying to move this higher into that gap, as well as potentially over the previous day high. And here we are now. And it all started with those two levels first. But very, very important to know that. And we go pretty in depth on that in the BB Theory playlist. I would definitely check that out if you guys have not already. If you sign up on YouTube and you have a YouTube member thing, or you're a member in the chat, I think you have to be lifetime. You have a link to the BB Theory playlist. Sorry, I am brain farting all over the place right now. But yeah, check out the new BB Theory playlist. If you don't have access, ask how. If you do have access and you just want to know where the hell to look, just ask. Nah, the IB and OB have helped me tremendously. I'm happy to hear that. Just make sure you guys are paying attention, because I went over exactly why I think the OB and IB are so helpful. Now, I believe it's because of that conditional thinking. Right, so if you can apply that conditional thinking to every other chart, every other setup, every other candlestick pattern that you like to look at, you could treat the OB and IB as any other candle almost. It's just, can you apply that same level of thinking to every other setup that you're looking at? That condition-based thinking. But keep it up, Alexis. Keep it up. And everybody else that's like Alexis. That doji geeks you. Make sure you guys are using your sector charts as well. If I had to like put any importance on anything else outside of anything else I've covered today, it would be probably the sector charts. Because I would say even just checking XLK, like you guys hear how much I just checked that one. It really is that much of SPY that it does matter. So if this is going up, it's probably helping SPY. If this is going down, it's probably hurting SPY. It's very helpful to have this outside factor though. And you can combine that too, go more in depth with it and kind of add these other ones in there.
I would really only focus on the top 4 or 5 just because they're the top weights. I have XLP here. This is just staples. This is more just for my sake. I just like to watch it. But the top 4 or top 5, sorry, I can't count apparently. These are like the top like 70 to 75% of the market. So if you're watching these 5, you have a pretty good grip on what the market's trying to do or what it is doing, even without looking at SPY. And I always like to draw this like really, really amazingly horrible picture for everybody. But I think of it as like a line. Like there's like this line, right? And let's say the further you're down here, the further the price is to 0. And the further you're closer to this X, the further you're closer to 1,000. Right? Like $1,000 a share. If you have XLC, XLF, XLV, XL, did I say C? Y, and then you have XLK, like way over here, like basically saying this one's doing really good, it's going up, it's super bullish. These not so much, they're just kind of down in the dirt, or even worse, they're falling and becoming worse. They're just continuously falling. What does the SPY chart look like in your head? And you should have a general idea, maybe not a perfect idea. Not every example is going to be as obvious as the rest. Like, let's say this example here. Let's say all of them, all top 5 sectors of SPY are down in the dirt. What do you think, if you close your eyes, what is the SPY chart doing? It's probably a huge red candlestick, right? And you should be able to draw this in your head. Not at all times, because like I said, not every situation is as obvious, right? Let's say 2 of them are doing really, really well. Let's say one of them just kind of like meh, and 2 of the lightest of the 5 are down in the dirt. What does the SPY chart look like in your head? There's probably a little bit of selling. There's probably a little bit of fear. But it's probably a green candlestick going up. Because one of these have definitely kind of defeated these 2 just by being in the center. And these 2 have gone up. These 2 have just continuously kept their momentum going up. So these would, all 3 of these would just completely overpower these 2. And we would probably have a slightly green or a little more than slightly green day. But it's just good to kind of understand that as you go through them all. Oh, I'm not going to be able to Control Z all those. That's great. Another trick to delete things fast is clicking over to the hand tool, the pan tool, and you can click and then hit delete on your keyboard. You don't have to right click everything. It's kind of nice. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that little discussion. I've gone over that a lot in the past. It's a really weird breakdown. But it makes sense in my head. Hopefully it does in yours. UNH at 316 and XL... Sorry. And healthcare is at 134 slowing after a nice move. Okay. I should have known you meant V when you said UNH. Stupid Bueller. Sectors are for SPY. So we are here again. That chart's crazy, Tobias. Good post. It's already almost 12:30. How's everybody in the stream? Thank you guys again for showing up, dropping a like on the stream. We had over 200 clicks already. A late start to the day, but honestly, kind of glad we did. It would have been nice to catch that first move, but I'm glad I was here for the second. And honestly, I was really happy to review the trade floor. Trade floor was kind of hot this morning. You guys were killing it. Didn't even need me. Really want to go through more daily charts, but I want to watch the SPY a little bit longer. See if we make it up to that 596.20 level or not. Caught a little wiggle on old Mo. I saw you mention it earlier. That is a good description. Penny Junker. Penny Junker EV. That is a good way to put it. That is exactly how I would have put it. Actually, you put it a lot more polite than I did. Midterm retest of the previous day high broke to a T. No shit. I didn't even draw it. That's like my favorite thing, and I didn't even draw it today. I think I got caught up looking at a bunch of other stuff, but let me see what you did there. So what Carter is meaning is from the previous day high, and this is, if anyone in my chat knows or has paid attention to anything I've done over the years, this is by far my favorite way to trade because it's super, super chaotic for other people. So not a lot of other people are going to be making sound trading decisions. They're just going to be randomly buying or selling. Whereas you and me can make a conditional decision. So we're going to go from the previous day high, where it broke above, and we're going to go to the top of where it finally slowed down. Normally, you're on your 5 minute, you go from the high to the top of wherever it stops and has its first red candle. Here we go, we got our first red candle. Ignore these extra dotted lines, these aren't really what we're focused on. They can be used as extra targets, but for now we're not focused on that. And then you zoom on down to the 1 minute. Holy crap, that's hard to look at. And you look for a good candlestick pattern to find here. And ding, 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 we got one. What is the low of that move, Carter, on the 1 minute? Anyone else, too. You don't have. It doesn't have to just be Carter. What did we get, though? We got almost all of y'all's favorite candles. I can't get y'all to shut up about this candle. But this was the low of the move before it made a little bit of a higher low and picked back up. Now, did it go and launch to the moon? No. But that's not the point of that. The point of it is to get to the recent high, and it achieved that. But what candlestick popped up there? And this is something you should be looking at all parts of the chart. Anytime you're at a resistance or a known support, you need to be looking at a candlestick pattern. But what is this? Come on, y'all typed it like 100 times 20 minutes ago. There we go, Mikey. Thank you. Mikey got it. Carter, good add-on on that. I like that as well. The 90% OB. I like that. That is also correct. But this is exactly what we need to be looking for. So is this a setup we should be jumping into? I mean, maybe not in this part of the day, no. If this was like earlier on, or maybe if we weren't sitting on top of a huge flagpole of a day, maybe, you know? But I think we could be a little bit more reasonable here and understand that this isn't that actionable of a setup in this part of the day. This is literally 12:30. Please refer to my 3 phases of the day video if you don't know what I'm saying. But this is still a really good topic to cover because this happens a lot. And a lot of people think like, oh, he's just looking for bullish setups because it's going up. Okay, smart ass. What happens if it breaks this level? We can become bearish because we've come up with a reason to understand why this should be bullish if held. So if broken, why not apply that same logic to the other direction? So it's not just, what the fuck, dude? I'm just trying to go over something, Spy. Why are you doing this, man? Oh, my chart just zoomed out on its own. That's awesome. Stretching is so good. Well, and if somebody could clip any of the things I've talked about in today's stream, that'd be cool. Like that one, I think needs to be clipped. That was a little insane, though, seeing that literally jump down instantly. I just wanted to cover something. Exactly, Carter. I like how you said that. In my face parameters. I like that. Making you make a decision based off something, not just randomness. Yo, Mike, I'm getting tired of this shit, man. The morning rush is over. The commuters have made it to work. Exactly. But that's exactly why I have that video. Here, I'll pull it up on the stream. because I really do believe in this. And then when I found out from one of my friends, Ace, who trades, he trades price action. I don't like to sit here and be like, he's an ICT trader, because he really isn't. He trades like literally every price action strategy mixed into one. So there's a lot of similarities between what he's looking at, what I'm looking at. We just probably label them differently. But he was telling me that other strategies already include something like this. Well, maybe not strategies, but there are like theories on this. What am I doing? 3 phases. What? Don't tell me I typed 3. No fucking way I typed the number 3. But this video here, very, very important. And it's funny, like, this video is so slept on, like, but I believe, speak up, bro, Jesus. Yeah, I had a low mic that day. But this video, like, the theory behind this is so deep, in my opinion. And it's funny, because I cover it in less than 6 minutes. And I'm not some smart guy or anything. It's just, like, this theory is so simple. It's so basic, but it's so effective. And it's funny, because, like, you could apply those same features to almost any aspect of our strategy, and it applies. Like, we really aren't looking to sound smart. We're not looking to go over 6,000 different things to make me bullish. I don't need 600 things on my screen to be bullish or bearish, right? We come up with a couple things. There's some logic. There's some theory behind our strategy, and that's it, right? Actually, most of the time, and as a lot of you have seen too, more times than not, when you keep it simple, you end up having a better trade. You end up having a way better outcome. A lot of you will end up saying, that was my most fun trade ever. It's like, yeah, because there was conditions, that there was a way out. There was an organized route, right? For being right, for being wrong. There was something there the whole time. There wasn't like, you were just trading nothing. And a lot of the time you feel good about your trade. It's not because of your winning. I mean, it is probably because of your winnings, but it's also because you completed a task, right? The same thing is talked about in like the military when they're like, when you're like, oh, you make your bed, you completed a task. You go outside, you worked out, you completed a task. It's the same thing with trading, right? You completed something that you actually prepared for. So of course you feel good about it. You completed it. But highly suggest watching this video or watching the BB Theory playlist, which also talks about it very in depth in pretty much every video. I think I was supposed to have just one video about the 3 phases of the day, and then it's just a part of literally every single one of them in that playlist. But it just shows how important it is, because you really could sit there. God, that's so hard to zoom out on. You really could. You really could sit there and go over, yes, this is a bullish candle, or yes, this is a bearish candle. But then you could, on the other hand, be like, but what part of the day is it? But what level am I hitting? But what have I done recently? So it's never just one thing standing on its own giving you that sentiment to be bullish, or giving you that one condition to be bearish. Like, there's always a few things that are kind of screaming out at you at once, or stacking on top of each other. It's kind of nice. And I think that's why we always come back to saying, like, think logically, trade logically, because, like, that's what we see as logically, as trading with a condition set, not just, oh, I'm bullish. Okay, why are you bullish? What made you bullish? I just had one play this myself this morning, played the previous day control point retest and hold. Oh, nice. You and Riak, you got the same trade then. I was just congratulating him on that exact trade earlier. Because he was saying, I think he missed out on part of the day or something, or someone said that, and then he was like, yeah, I caught the previous day midpoint test. And here you are saying it too in the exact same way. I missed out on the first part of the day. I just kind of waited. Here I am. Here's my midpoint. Let me trade that. Understanding that that's like a secondary deciding pivot point for the day outside of our today's open. Dude, round of applause. Round of applause, Carter. Seriously. You wanted the full back, the full gap, but got wicked along the way. All in all green. Fuck me, dude. I've never fixed this many candles in one day. Huh? What? Oh, because the open. I see. Jesus, dude, this chart sucks today. Wanted the full gap, I got wicks along the way. That's what I was trying to look at. Jesus Christ. Hold the midpoint. You were trying to get to the gap, some wicks. Yeah, there were some crazy wicks. I think I fixed like 5 candles in between that level and this level. Yeah, I can't even like give you real critique on that. I just can't. Because it's just the type of price action we're getting. I would definitely say next time, if it was one of those big wicks, I would see if that actually even affected the chain. Because when I was looking, it didn't actually affect anything if you held. But there was definitely some quote movement. But I think Dr. J hit it on the head earlier. I think it really is just some late calculations. It's just insane we're getting so many of them. Didn't manage as well as I would have liked, but setup and plan was clean. Biggest piece of the process. I agree, because that just came down to, oh, okay, like just not the greatest movement, or not the greatest day, you know. That just led to a variable that you or me are not in control of. Fine, I'll take that one on the chin. It's better than you saying like, oh, well, I just closed it because I didn't care. It's like, okay, well, that's on you then, you know. But no, you did good, Carter. Proud of you. I hope other people follow in that exact way as well. Just creating that condition, making sense of it, using context to kind of understand what we could do for the day. What are the possible scenarios? Always having something in mind. Not just sitting there saying, it should do this, it should do that. More of a trailing it and got hit? Yeah, okay. Well, shit, we'll take those on the chin. Not crazy movement, guys. I think a lot of us have already kind of realized this after that new high of day. Again, we are in the lunchtime part of the day. It's about to be the third phase of the day, though, here in about 21 minutes. Third phase of the day is basically just the last 2 hours of the day. First phase of the day is basically the first 2 hours of the day. And the second phase of the day is everything in between those 2 hour intervals, if you say. But yeah, and that's what we describe as the 3 phases of the day. So, could rate the first phase of the day, 10:30. I'd rate that pretty high, honestly, considering we started at 588. By 10:30, we're $4.50 up. Almost by the end of the second phase of the day, we're at another couple dollars up, almost at 595.50. That is a pretty good amount of movement in 1-2 phases of the day. Now we're almost in the third. Which this tells us we should either, that higher probability tells us we should either consolidate or break under this level and have a small pullback. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, we'll make it down to the next area. I would say halfway of this area, like maybe where these wicks are. That would be a sensible target for a break of this. But I would definitely not bet on it going down to 591.17. It can, but it's not something that you should be aiming for. I would be aiming for the middle part of that range, even though it's not as enticing. It's only $1. It's not that great. But that's where you weigh your options on, do you want to take that risk reward or not? Third phase of the day tells us we should slow down or drop under that level. But that's about it. Smaller probability, we do get to test a 591.17, or we do just keep going up the rest of the day. Those are the smaller probabilities based on what we've seen. That's risk management in action, cutting and sticking to your plan. 100%. No, he did great. I don't even know his like actual outcome of the trade percentage or anything. I don't care. It's like you could hear the power and impact behind his setup. Like he instantly pointed out to us why he liked it, what he was looking at, why he entered, and that's all we needed to know. I like his reasoning. It's very, very powerful. I didn't see your other message, Mike. Just perusing the junkyard. I didn't see that one under it. Trimmed you in 8 shares from your dip buy swing. Round of applause for Mike T. Eagle Eye. More gains for him. I'm going to end the stream here in about 10-15 minutes, but if you guys have any questions or anything you want to add on into the stream, please let me know. I'm just kind of sitting here chilling. Anybody has anything to say or ask, you can go over it. Again, though, I highly recommend checking out the, if it'll load, the playlist of the channel. If you have access, BB Theory is pretty awesome. If you have a membership, or if you own a course, also it's in the course server. The link is there. But yeah, this is a public video. Damn, it is so nice not making videos as much now. A lot of people will warn you about the pitfalls of the market, but don't... Wait. Oh, another message came up. But don't explain the risk management and how to apply it. Yeah, that's true. And even if they don't even teach that, it's like they don't even show you how to think for yourself. Like, at all. Like, they're basically telling you, like, just wait for me to tell you when I'm buying and selling. It's like, okay. That's a person who doesn't care about you. Or how you're gonna do. I was reading that Renaissance Technologies, a very successful quant firm. That's a dope name. Renaissance Technologies has a win rate of about 50%. 50% shows how risk management is key. Wait, what? The very successful quant firm only has a win rate of about 50%? I feel like that's still pretty good, though, if you think about it. Like, 50% sounds like shit. I know, I get it. But I'm trying to think. If they had really good risk-reward, like, they must be killing it, right? You know, your win rate doesn't need to be that great. Your win rate can be shit. Well, I don't want to say that. Your win rate should be near, like, at least 40 to 60%. Because if it's anything lower than that, it's, like, kind of undoable. It's not really feasible. Their winners are much bigger than their losers, yeah. No, it would have to be. Because, yeah, they could have a condition set where it's like a safe zone. They could have a safe zone around their trade. And be like, all right, well, if it goes past this, we'll just cut. Therefore, it doesn't take 60 wins to get this one loss back. You know, it's probably more along the lines of, like, I would need to lose 60 times to take that win back. It's the opposite. No, you should aim for at least 50%. I don't know what the win rate of a perfect BB trader would be, but it's been pretty high the couple times I've seen somebody break out in the chat. Once they get it all down and are doing their own thing or kind of in their own groove, the win rate gets pretty high. But it again ties back to that risk reward though, because sometimes I'll see people be like, Bueller, why did my trade fail? And it's like a day like this. They're like, why did my bullish retest right here fail? It's like, brother in Christ, we just went up fucking $7 and you're trying to play another bullish retest. What is your problem? And like, I wouldn't even be mad if they were like, oh, okay, I get why I lost that, because I was kind of understanding that I was kind of buying the top of the day. You know, I'd get it, whatever. You see a bullish retest, it just didn't work out, fine. But if you're just sitting there and you didn't understand that it's literally up $7 already, and what's been done recently, like, is it really on the system or is it on you for having shit risk reward? It's on you. It doesn't come down to the system. That's like fully on you. Was it a bullish retest? Sure. I mean, could call it that. It's just like, I don't know. If you're only telling me bullish retest and we're zoomed into this, that doesn't help me, you know? But if I have this big picture and you're saying up here bullish retest, I'm like, huh? That's why I always say, like, treat your entries with the same energy as you would as before you entered. Because if before you entered you got all excited about it, get into your trade. Why are you even thinking twice about it? But it's the same thing with this. It's like, yeah, it's a bullish retest, but where is it on the chart? What context do I have? Like, when you zoom out, it's a little bit more apparent. I think this, yeah, it cuts bullish retest trade. I think this is like super apparent to a lot of you. It's just like, it's hard to actually stick to it. And trust me, I'm right there with you. It's hard to actually be like, yeah, I like this bullish retest, and then to actually follow through taking it and to not cut it every time you see one thing go against you. Because I see that sometimes too in chat. I'll see sometimes somebody gets a really good entry and then they fuck it up by cutting it too quick because they see one red candle. It's like, come on, man. But that always comes down to just muscle memory, more reps. And yeah, I like what Mike said. It all comes down to your personal discipline. Because again, like, you could take a bullish retest or a bullish breakout, but it's like, what was done recently to help you find that? Don't just say bullish breakout. Don't just say bullish retest. Like, what is it retesting? What is it breaking out? Therefore, you have context. You have a little bit more to bite on. You know what I mean? Blake, my bad. You said, can you look at the BABA? Hold up. Can you look at BABA and give some analysis on the chart? You want the daily or smaller time frames? Because I'll mainly look at the daily on BABA. I gave my analysis on JD, but I don't have any intraday analysis for you on this one. Weekly. Oh, thank God. A man of culture. There is a God. Like, let me delete all this because I don't even remember what that's from, and I don't want to sit here and go over shit I don't understand. So first, get some context. Like I was just saying, I don't really understand, but I know China's been shit. I've been watching JD a lot, just for reference. For you, I've been watching JD a lot, and it's very similar TA. Mine's actually breaking under that recent high. I was just thinking about that because I saw here on BABA it wasn't. It's actually holding above it still, so that's pretty interesting. So I guess my main focus would be that high to this candle's green open, the green one's open, because this is the recent supply where they fell to. This would be like if they ever broke support, this is where they'd go. They did. Now they're back above. They hit their target from their support that they hit, coming back down, kind of holding above. So it's kind of at a bullish retest after a good liquidity grab too. So it's got a lot of energy built up under this. But if this level was to ever break, that would not be good, because this would increase the probability that it does test that next level. And if this breaks, this increases the probability that it does want to go down to this recent low, which you and me both know that would not be good. But as of right now, this whole, let me get above this, let me hold this, let me hit this as a target, it's kind of like settling. So it looks like it's trying to find its higher low to potentially work back into this and maybe have a chance of breaking out higher. But also keep that in mind that it could break 118 basically. whatever that is. Let's see what that looks like on the daily, though. I love seeing it on the daily. Doing the bigger time frame macro TA and then zooming out to, or zooming down to the daily for some daily candlestick patterns, which let me go back and mark that. This right here. That. All right, and that's all we need for now. Might need some more TA here to the upside. Let's see what we see from up here. Start from the top, work our way down. So there's a good gap halfway point, probably somewhere like right there. Good lower high like right here. I'm kind of curious, how much has this fallen? No retest of the 50% there. Retested the big ass one. Held it, moved up, came back down. Okay, yeah, so it does kind of align with what we thought. From the recent high to the recent low, it is above that 50%, which kind of crazy how close that level is, so we might want to actually include that. I'll do that, therefore we don't have this big fib on our screen. Alright, so that's what I'm sticking with. I like the potential bullish retest here, but I would definitely give it a little bit more time because it did just come off the back end of a really big grind up move and pull back. So maybe not instantaneously looking for the bullish move up, but definitely looking to see when it wants to do what I just said. Go up and smack this level and potentially break over it. That's not a bad looking chart though. I normally don't like the China charts, but that's actually pretty good looking. You needed to break 148. Wait, did you say 148? Why am I still in rectangle tool? There we go. You need it to break this level? Are you in shares, I'm assuming? I'm assuming you're in shares, not options. Trump just tweeted about his Putin meeting. Seems dovish. Oh, you're in leaps. Okay. Whew. I thought you were about to be like, dude, I'm in next week options, man. I'm in next week calls looking for 148, Bueller, because you think it's possible? You'd never believe the request I've gotten, Blake, so I had to ask. Nice chart, though. Here, I'll add it to my little... You can see I have JD way up here. I've been watching it for a while, but if you see me cover this, it's pretty similar TA to what you'll see me say about Boeing. So if you're ever in here and you hear me talking about JD, just tell me, hey, Bueller, look at Boeing. Or look at Baba. I keep saying Boeing because it's two Boeings in one. That's how my brain works. It doesn't. Alright, let's zoom this down here. Yeah, this music's a little better. A lot better. Good looks though, Blake. Hopefully that was helpful. Looks like let's go spy breakdown through 594.40s and find those wicks. Yeah, make real wicks, please. UNH melting back in at 311 now. Fair enough. It did kind of go on a hot streak there for a second. Yeah, Japan lo-fi. Just Japanese music slaps. What were those little things called? I have this one video I sent you all a long time ago, but it was like the craziest freestyle of these like Japanese instruments I've ever seen. It was basically like using a guitar before guitars existed. It was the craziest video ever. Two dudes in the most epic orange robes I've ever seen. Just going ham. Yeah, I won't lie. Japanese culture kind of hits. That's a hell of a V shape. Yeah, there you go. That's what it's called. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word out loud, but that was the instrument. Hold up. Actually, just because you typed it, I might be able to find the video now. Come on. Come on. Come on. Where is it, dude? I have to go to my history, I think. What is this music? I sound like I'm... Is this music like... This music sounds depressing. Like I'm supposed to be crying or something while listening to this. Let's see. History. Shamisen. I found it! Oh my god, you're the best, Mike. Yo, here you go. I'd say you're welcome, but they're the ones who blessed us. Yeah, that one goes hard. This is some real elevator music right here. Real. What? Oh, there we go. But let me click the link at first. I've seen these chicks. No, I think I saw this one before I saw the one I linked you. Because I saw them and they were like, they did the yelling part and I was like, whoa. Like, I wasn't expecting it. And then when I watched that video with those, like, brothers in it, it kind of freaked me out because they were like, huh! And then they did, like, their beat and shit. It was kind of crazy sounding. 5 red candles in a row in the 5-minute about to test yesterday's close. Great call up by Dr. J11. Data J. Oh yeah, there's literally there's a like on that video that you linked me and I've already liked it. I was just looking. That was literally probably one of the first like 3 I clicked on was that one you sent me. When they did the yelling, that's when I knew how serious it was. Or not yelling, but you know what I mean. The yeah. It's like them like warning everybody they're about to start. Prepare your ears. $594.40's broke, looking for 592s in my opinion. We'll see if we get it. I think I am going to end stream here though, guys. Just look, guys, end of the day, we are kind of looking for this area to potentially be a retest move down from here. Into the 593s, 592s potentially. So be on that lookout for an end of day move like that. We are in the final 2 hours of the day, so be very careful. There is also that slight chance that they do just hold on to their uptrend intraday and continue. So keep that in mind. But definitely a huge pivot point is to focus on is right here around the 594, 594.50s kind of stuck around here. But I'll see you guys later on. Thank you guys for the stream. Thank you guys for the likes on today's stream. We got over 240 clicks on today, even though I didn't even announce when I was going to start. So I do appreciate everybody's patience and everybody's hard work in the trade floor before I was even in there. Definitely be sure to be checking on your daily update channels. Hashtag Levels channel especially is the one channel I will always be in no matter what. I think the world could be ending and I would still be updating the SPY levels and where the midpoint is and all that stuff and the key areas we're going to be focused on for different charts. And yeah, and then premium, be on the lookout. I'll be sure to post another ticker tonight for tomorrow's watch. I'll just be using the old daily method, but I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. And yeah.